morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank God. Thank God it's Friday. It has been a long, long, long week. And for us, when it's Friday, you know what that means.
Oh yeah. Tell them what it means, Marek. Tell them what it means.
It's me. We have another episode of the CareSouth Carolina Community Live Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mark Calhoun. I am the Director of Social and Community Services for CareSouth Carolina. I'm always here with my partner in crime.
Hi, I'm Daniel Myers. I'm the MATHD Program Director as well as the ARCO Consortium Director for Care South Carolina. And we are always glad to come on Fridays. We love Fridays just for this purpose. Friday.
Just for this purpose.
That's right.
Daniel, what we got going on today?
Oh man, we got one of our wonderful partners with us today. I mean, I am so excited. They hail from Florence County, but they work in a palace. I mean, they work in this building that's so awesome. I mean, I told her just now that if she start renting rooms, to send me a lease agreement, and I want to live in the lobby so I can look up at the rafters up there and then go back there and fish in that pond. And anyway, we're gonna talk about them a little. I'm just getting all caught up in it, but we're gonna talk about our partners. I'm just excited about this podcast.
Absolutely,
that's a wonderful people here.
I pulled in the parking lot the other day. I was trying to get turned around because I saw the hot light, and and I remember you talking about it, and I was unfortunately I was out of town at the conference when y'all did the meeting there, and so I didn't get an opportunity to tour the facility, but the parking lot's nice.
Yes, hey. So anytime you walk into driving somebody's driveway, and their driveway is awesome, you can imagine what's going on behind the walls, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, you can't even fathom how beautiful this place is. But she's going to give us a rundown. Dr. Goldsmith is going to give us a rundown whenever we start to talk about the services that they offer. And like I said, I am so impressed. I'm super impressed with what they offer, and I'm super happy that they decided to be partners with us. And I'm just honored to have them on this morning.
Okay, so we talked about them. Let's know who them are.
Yes. So introduction, we can start with Miss Carolyn.
Okay, hello. I'm Carol Williamson. Carol, yes. Carol. I'm addictions counselor at the Palmetto Center. I've been here a little while, and I love it. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Is that Gussie?
I don't think Miss Kelly Gussie has your the LPN. I don't think she have a mic where she can talk with you. She's just listening in.
Okay.
Okay. Who's next?
That would be Ernie.
Yes, thank you. I'm Ernie Lathrop. I'm our services coordinator for our A&D services for SCBRD at our state office in Columbia. I have previous experiences working at a treatment center such as the Palmetto Center up in Greenville at the Holmesview Center when we had it, but we lost it to a fire back in 2016. So been working at our state office since then.
All right. Malcolm?
Malcolm is just a guest with us, just listening.
Yeah, my name is Malcolm. I'm just listening in. Sorry, I had muted the mic for a second.
All right. And Miss Smoke?
Hi, I'm just a guest as well. My name is Joey Smoke.
All righty.
Tish, I couldn't get the device to work properly, so I just walked on down.
Hey Tish, how you doing?
Thank you. Hey. Hi.
And now the woman of the hour.
All right.
Oh my. Well, my name is Dr. Helen Goldsmith. I'm the clinic director here at the Palmetto Center, which is located in Florence, South Carolina. I'm glad to be a part of this podcast and invited to be a part of this podcast. And would like, whenever y'all ready, to give some information about what we do here at the Palmetto Center, where we're located, and how we can help the individuals or the South Carolinians that are in South Carolina within the 46 counties and providing them services in substance abuse and recovery.
All right. You can go ahead and take the floor. You can go ahead and start and just give us a rundown and synopsis of what the Palmetto Center, what the Palmetto Center is all about.
Okay, thank you for that. Well, the Palmetto Center is definitely a part of South Carolina Vocational Rehabilitation Department. The Palmetto Center actually have been established in Florence, South Carolina for 50 plus years, more on the 60-year side. Unfortunately, we're a well-known, well-hidden secret within Florence, South Carolina, but we're doing things differently now to get the information out there to the people within our community about what we do here, working with people that are in need of substance abuse recovery. Now, the Palmetto Center have two parts to it. One of the main parts is employment. That's what is the most important thing that connects us with vocational rehabilitation department. The goal is for us to assist the consumers that are receiving services here in need of recovery, not only the recovery piece, but also assisting them with obtaining sustainable employment within South Carolina. So that's the piece that really makes us unique, because we look at the consumer and provide those services to them holistically. VR have so many dimensions to it that it is phenomenal. I don't think we'll have enough time to discuss everything that VR can offer a consumer within the state of South Carolina. But specifically about the Palmetto Center, we are a 28-day inpatient treatment program that works with the consumers from all 46 counties in the state of South Carolina. That's what also make us unique. But one of the top things about the Palmetto Center and SCVRD is that we can provide these services to individuals in South Carolina, and we provide these services, if they qualify for the services, free. Okay. Now, that's the phenomenal piece. The cost of recovery and treatment can be very expensive, and it can really be out of reach, and people don't have access to the funding that is needed to receive these treatment services. But here at the Palmetto Center, I would like to say, without being biased, we provide top-notch services to the people within South Carolina. The services that we provide are very unique, it's individualized, and it's a comprehensive service that we provide. We also understand that providing these services, that we can't do it alone. So we build partnerships, not only partnerships, but quality partnerships to help our consumers to get to the point where they need to be in life when they're going through their recovery process. So I believe that we're phenomenal in that sense. And also the facility itself is a welcoming, inviting, clean, very effective facility for someone to come in and obtain recovery services without worrying about things that are going on in the outside world, that they can really focus on themselves for those 28 days and get the treatment services that they need in a holistic approach. So that's what we do here at the Palmetto Center.
Wow. And you know, and like you said, that was just a synopsis of what you do. People really don't have an idea of all the work that goes into the consumers that you have and how you pour into them vocationally, you know, and educationally. They leave a whole lot better than they came in, a whole lot better, a whole lot more informed, a whole lot better equipped to go back out into the public.
Yes, and I think that's the unique piece, the job preparedness instruction part that we also include in the recovery piece. If the individual is employed, that's wonderful, that's great. We still work with them to build upon the skills that they need and skills that they might not even tapped into. We kind of work with them so that they can learn more about themselves and what they have to offer, not only in their community, but within their family environment as well, and utilizing those employable skills at the same time. The job preparedness instruction part includes us working with the consumer to build resumes, to do job searches, to even if they're in a particular career path, they might have been thinking about doing something differently. And we assist them with that and giving them the tools that they need to accomplish their goals. So that's one unique piece too, as well.
And I like the idea of this service in 28 days.
Yes.
I love that because it gives them time with their sobriety to stay away from that environment, to stay away from those friends and those triggers that cause them to actually continue in their addiction. This offers them an opportunity for behavior modification. And I know that you have some addiction counselors on today. And so once the job, everything is all inclusive. They're going through everything at one time, which is holistic care, right? So can you talk a little bit about your counseling services and just talk a little bit about that?
Well, I would say that we have some unique and diverse counselors here at the Palmetto Center, and they offer wonderful services. So what I will do, I will let some of the counselors that are logged in on the podcast with us talk about what they do and what they pour into the consumers while they're here. So let's start off with Miss Carol Williamson, because she has some very unique things that she does in groups within the Palmetto Center. And then we'll go to Miss Jackson, that's in the room with me. And then I don't know if Mr. Solomon is on. We'll ask him or Jesse or Ernie to give us some feedback. Thank you.
Okay, hi again. Talking about what I do as a counselor, we have specific groups. Everybody has their own group, and I have a group that I conduct every morning. We also have individual groups that we do. I do a spiritual growth group, and I talk about self-care, self-awareness, different things for the consumers, and not based all on drugs. We talk more about self issues, like self-esteem, things that's bothering, anger, different things like that. And we have a gender issue group that we conduct. The counselors kind of share that with each week. And so the gender issues, we talk about the different female issues that they may have back in the dorms or just, in general. I also do have relaxation CDs and relaxation tapes that they can listen to if they're having trouble sleeping or if things are going on that they need to get their mind clear. We talk about motivational interviewing, motivation for change, the do's and don'ts of things that they need to do as far as changing their behavior, changing their people, places, and things. We also give them affirmations to say to themselves, like changing their way of thinking, self-talk. We have speakers that come in and talk to the consumers also. We have pastors that volunteer their time to come in every Sunday and have services on Sunday. They have devotions every morning. I try to kind of oversee the speakers that come in. Basically, a lot of practicing positive self-talk. And that's a lot of that holistic stuff. Instead of focusing just on the drugs, focusing on what happened in their life. Why did the drugs, where did it start? And they do tell their story. We call that a hot seat when they start and they tell their life story about when they got started, their family history, and different things. Mm-hmm.
Well,
go ahead.
Whenever you mention the hot seat, a lot of times we don't understand where we are until we hear it again. When it's spoken aloud, then we hear our story, and those are the times where we can kind of pinpoint where our lives took a turn. So I think that's very important.
Okay, and we talked to them about, in order to recover, they need to uncover a lot of things that they had hidden back in their childhood, things that they need to address. And so we try to address those issues while they're here.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But before we move forward, we're getting a lot of feedback. If you got a secondary device like a phone or anything, turn the volume down because we're getting a little bit of feedback.
If I don't have anything.
I would like to ask Ms. Jackson to tell a little bit about what she does here at the Palmetto Center, and give Mr. Ernie Lanthrop a moment to discuss the outreach services that he provides here within the 46 counties of South Carolina. Thank you. Ms. Jackson?
Well, hey, how are y'all again? Ms. Carol basically summed it up. There's not much more I can say to add, but I can add a few things. One of the other things that we do here, I do community lecture, and when we do community lecture, we talk about ways to establish healthy relationships, because a lot of time when they've been in active addiction, they've been in toxic relationships. So ways to identify when you are in a healthy relationship, or ways to establish healthy relationships, as well as giving themselves forgiveness. We all know that if we've ever dealt with anybody that has any type of addiction, forgiveness is one of the things that keeps them in that addiction, as well as the guilt and shame. So understanding the importance of forgiving themselves and giving themselves a break, so that way they can accomplish the recovery the way they need to be successful moving forward. Some of the other things we discuss with them are, of course, like Ms. Carol said, motivational factors that can keep them in recovery as well, and making sure they keep those things in the forefront of their mind, so that way whenever they do have things that come up, they can always remember what their motivational factors are. Mr. Solomon Sherrod just walked in as well, and he is our expert when it comes to relapse prevention. So he does a lot of stuff with them, and we also piggyback on that stuff, the importance of actually playing the tape all the way out. Think about how, if you go back out there and pick up, how will this affect you long term? Okay, so what is the actual consequence that come behind it? But I like the other piece of that. Play the other side of the tape. If you don't pick up, what can be the positive consequences that can come to you? That way you can stay on that road to recovery and maintain that recovery, that sobriety, and establish those healthy relationships with family members. And a lot of times they say, well, I've burned all my bridges. No, let's not say we burned the bridges. We've broken them. So we can go back and repair them. Because when you say you burn the bridges, it's no way to turn back. And if you still have at least one family member or that one person that's willing to help you, you haven't burned that bridge. You just damaged it a little bit. So go back and do the work that's needed to do in order for you to be able to be successful in those relationships with those people. We also have, if they come to us and they are limited in their clothing, we also provide a clothing closet for them, which is phenomenal, because if you look good, you feel good. Yeah. And so that's a definite plus. And like Ms. Carol said, when we do the gender issues, one of the things we like to focus on is letting the women and the men know how valuable they are. One of the things that I like to do with them is ask them if anybody likes to go shopping. And I give them examples of putting themselves on clearance for people. Don't put yourself on clearance for people, because if Louis Vuitton doesn't have a clearance section, why should you put yourself on discount? If Maserati doesn't have a sales section, why should you put yourself on sale or discount for somebody else? So understanding how valuable they are, how important they are, and what types of work they bring to the world as a whole. So that's it.
Hey, that was awesome.
That was enough.
And I do announcements at church on Sunday, so
I hear you. Govern yourselves accordingly. Govern yourselves accordingly.
I love it. I love it.
And
I
Mr.
love it.
Can we hear a little bit about the services that you provide for the Palmetto Center and SCVRD through your outreach? Thank you.
Okay. I appreciate you letting me follow Tish. Brutus should never have to follow Caesar. And that's hard to do. But thank you for letting me sit in today and having a few moments and working at this from the state level and having the opportunity to travel the state and to see other services and other providers and what they do with substance use disorders. I could say without question that what Dr. Goldsmith and her team do at the Palmetto Center is second to none. And they do a very good job. And the big thing is it's about care and building relationships, and the folks that come in there know that the folks that are there care. The big thing is, not treating someone as a drug addict, but treating someone as a human being who has problems. And that's one thing that they do very well at the Palmetto Center. After folks leave the Palmetto Center for the 28 days, and Palmetto Center being a component of SCVRD, I've always liked to say they're a very unique care provider inside of a care provider. And once the consumer leaves the Palmetto Center, they return to their hometown and they return to their area office. And often that's where the employment process begins if they're not employed when they come in. But also understanding too that often the employment they may be doing often may be types of employment that might be detrimental to their long-term sobriety. So we have to look at maybe there's something else we could do with these folks. But our goal as SCVRD is always employment. We want to get those folks in substantial, gainful, meaningful employment, and understanding that we know that is a deterrent to relapse. It's a thing that promotes their recovery, is being gainfully employed, because they feel successful, they have responsibilities, and different things that kind of work with their self-esteem. But what Dr. Goldsmith, and I said all that to say this, is one of the new services that we have started and I've been fortunate enough to be able to develop this and be tasked to be able to facilitate it, is once they leave the Palmetto Center, we are doing weekly relapse prevention classes via Zoom for all the consumers that have successfully completed the Palmetto Center. And we do those on Tuesday afternoons at 2:00 until 3:15. And we talk about things about, boredom, stress, one day at a time, managing your anger, trust, avoiding relapse, staying away from the relapse justifications, because we could justify anything in our mind if we think, if we leave it there long enough. So we've been doing that for, I think, approximately about 4 months now. And we've, had some success with anything new. There's learning curves along the way and bumps and bruises you have to overcome. But we're looking forward to doing that. And we're also looking forward to, in the very near future, is starting a pre-care component for our consumers prior to entering the Palmetto Center. That way we could, begin processing with this consumer about things that, are going to happen there. For a lot of folks, entering the Palmetto Center or anywhere for that matter, it's a culture shock. They're used to living in their world, their way. And when they come in, well, it's a different, it's kind of like going off to college for the first time. It's a different environment. So if we could get those folks better prepared to be there, we really feel that the opportunity for success increases that once they enter the Palmetto Center. So just very fortunate that we have a facility such as this. As Dr. G said, it is free, so that makes it the best deal in town for sure. And because it is very expensive to receive these kinds of services, and just having the vocational piece at Palmetto Center as well, with the employment, the application, the interviewing, resume writing. This is what makes us unique to other treatment approaches that you see around the state and around the nation, for that matter, is we do have the vocational component in-house as well. So just really excited about what they're doing there. And I really enjoy working very closely with Dr. G and her team, and just seeing how we could, all make something that's great even better. So I thank you for your time and allowing me to share.
No, we thank you for coming on. We really appreciate this. We are, like I said, we are so excited about this and all the services that are offered. And did you say you got my buddy in the office with you, Dr. G?
Yes.
Yeah, tell him I ain't got nothing in my backpack today, but we still can talk.
Oh, he just walked out the door. He must have knew. He just hit the door. But so, I will give him the memo.
Okay. So I understand that right now, because of COVID, that there are some restrictions that you have.
Yes.
Would you mind discussing those with us?
Sure. Unfortunately, at this time, but unfortunately and fortunately, is twofold, that we only can take 16 consumers in at one time. Previously, we can take in consumers every week, but now we only could take 16. Our facility can hold 36 men and 24 women. So that would be a totality of 60 individuals. And due to COVID, we have been cut down to 16. So that's a big, drastic cut. But we have to do what is most important for the consumers and the staff safety at this time. But we are still providing them with quality care services as we are doing the individual services. Consumers know that they can reach out to us and speak to us individually at any time if they need the help or services. We have Mr. Ernie Lathrop program that do outreach services and do the weekly Zoom meetings with the consumers as well. But at this time, we only can take 16 individuals in at any given time.
Okay. And another one of the things, I'm telling my rec about this, and this is some of the activities that you have. You have your own fishing pond out there, catch and release, and they got some bass in there, my rec, probably about that big. And then
look at
and then they have games, and each day room have games, and then they have a cafeteria with some of the best food in Florence that nobody know about. And I call that an activity because for me, eating is an adventure, right? And so having good food, and y'all still doing the biscuits?
Yes, we are.
And the fried chicken.
And the cabbage.
Yes.
And the macaroni.
Yes.
And the potato salad.
Yes.
And the sweet tea. And cornbread.
And the fried chicken is known statewide.
Yes.
It sounds like instead of turning around, I should have parked.
Yes.
But to counteract that, we also have a gym.
That's right.
In the facility that assists with health, as well as giving the consumers another opportunity to utilize healthcare and nutrition as another alternative. So we have that in there. We have treadmills, we have exercise bikes, we have the ellipticals, we have the weightlifting machine. So it was no stone left unturned when SCVRD looked at what it would take to holistically take care of consumer. while they're going through recovery. So they started from the top and went all the way to the bottom. So it's a wonderful program, a wonderful facility, and I'm just fortunate to be a part of it.
Yeah, and we're fortunate to be partners with you guys and be able to go in there and just, if we don't end up turning the parking lot and go look through the front door, I'm satisfied because that's a beautiful place. And also, I think one of the factors too is that everybody's separated. You don't have there's no cohabitation. Everybody has their own side and their own place. And one of the things that really stuck out to me was that you said the only time that they come together is doing group. And that's so that everybody can get themselves together and not continue relationships that shouldn't be going on during the time of sobriety, where you're trying to reach that point of sobriety. And I think that's very, very important. And to me, the atmosphere is really, really conducive to a rehab. It's common. The colors are immaculate because they are common colors, and I know that was done purposefully so that nobody's agitated, nobody's hyper. What's the word I'm looking for? Hyper
aggressive, hyper aggressive.
Yes. So it kind of brings everybody's mood level down so they can receive what you guys are offering. I'm just really, really impressed with everything, and like Mr. Ernie said, it's free. And that opens up so many doors for people who need to go to a program to be able to go, because we've tried to send some of our patients out to programs and they can't afford it, which adds another stress. Well, there's no help for me. I have no solution to my problem, so I might as well stay where I am. But having a place like the Palmetto Center to help me get involved with the community, get a job, start being a part of my family, providing for my family, and also help me to sobriety, that increases my value to people. Not to just people, but to me as well. I feel like somebody when I leave there. And then I get clothes if I don't have clothes.
Yes.
Right? So that's a wonderful thing. I mean, really. I'm just, hey, we got to get you guys back on so we can do more talking about the services that you offer. We can't do all this in one podcast because there's so much that you guys do. And so I don't know. So Dr. We're gonna let you do a conclusion of what you want everybody to know, giving your contact information, how they can get in touch with you, any phone numbers that's relevant, and just let us know what's going on.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity to kind of summarize the Palmetto Center in a nutshell. What we really want South Carolinians to understand, that we are here to provide them a service. We are here to serve. We are here for them. And if we don't have the answer, we are the advocates or the avenue that will assist you with helping you find the answer to what you need. Because SCVRD is in all 46 counties of the state of South Carolina, we can reach out to anyone in the state of South Carolina at any time. It's just a matter of people picking up the phone and just making that first phone call. I will give you the number to the Palmetto Center, and our number is 843-662-9378. We are a 7-day-a-week, 360 days a year facility that's open 24 hours. So if you call that number, there will be someone on the other end of that phone that you can talk to. So we really try very hard to make ourselves and our services accessible to the people in the state of South Carolina. Remembering that Palmetto Center is a 28-day inpatient treatment facility. We can hold up to 60 individuals. That was pre-COVID, hopefully. Sooner than later, we can go back. Although we're not holding that amount of people anymore, we can still make things happen for you, even if we're providing outreach services to you until we can get you into the inpatient treatment center. We have a vast amount of partnerships. Our area offices are wonderful to work with. We have counselors there, and we have job preparedness instructors within our area offices to also help the consumers. So we are here, and we are here to serve. We are here to serve the people in the state of South Carolina. If you don't believe us, try us. We're just a phone call away.
Oh, wow. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
There it is. Let's try us.
That's it. You dropped the mic on that one, my Rick.
Yeah, that's it. It is. Don't believe us, try us.
That's it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, we definitely appreciate you all coming on with us today, providing some great information, sharing what you do, sharing how individuals can get in contact with you, sharing how they can come to you and get the services and the help that they really need. And we certainly thank you for joining us today. But before you go, there is something that we like to know from all our guests before we let them go. You know, we do so much for the community, and you're doing so much for the community. The work that you do is yeoman, the Herculean task is yeoman's work. But what do you do for self-care? What do you do outside of what you do every day, being the unsung heroes in individuals' life? How do you take care of yourself? Doc?
Well, you said Doc.
Oh, I'm sorry. She can go.
That's okay. That's one of the things I think is important with self-care is knowing when enough is enough, and you have to take a step back from some things to readjust yourself. Because if you're not together and you don't have your wellness together, you won't be able to provide the services or to serve others. So for me, wellness means to me is being with family and friends, sharing, of course, listening to music. I love music from all genres, long walks, and time alone. There's nothing like time alone. So, and not to mention that working here at the Palmetto Center, I have like 5 or 6 counselors. So if I ever need anyone to talk to, I can always talk to someone. So that's what wellness means to me.
Absolutely. Miss Tish?
Retail therapy and walking. And
my wife's
and
listening.
also, you said what?
My wife's listening.
Retail therapy. No, but seriously, retail therapy is good for me, but I always shop clearance. And as well as clearance. Clearance is my friend. That my boo thing. Clearance is my boo thing. And humor works well for me. And I walk every morning just to clear my mind. So that way that starts my day. And in the evening, spend time with my sister, make her life miserably amazing. And of course, spend time with friends that enjoying life. And of course, music is always a definite plus.
Absolutely. All right. Miss Carol. Miss Carol, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Carol, right.
Carol, yes, ma'am.
Well, I just basically like to spend time with my husband. We'll go and pick a restaurant or something that we've never been to before, and we just go out and eat, and we go out and just travel, just take a little mini vacation, do something just to ease my mind and relax. Maybe go down to the beach for maybe a couple of days or something like that. But
absolutely,
I do try to take care of myself.
Wow, that makes it hard for me. You mentioned your husband. Now I have to answer when I go home. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ernie.
For me, it's a lot of mine is my faith as well, and relying on it. But for my downtime and I like golf. I usually go out to play golf to get more relaxed, but I usually come back more aggravated and stressed than and I wonder why I go.
Right.
But, enjoy fishing outdoors, spending time with the wife, and doing like what Miss Carol said. Taking those little long weekend trips and just doing things together. And and I like me time. I like, just my half hour a day where I could just tune everything out and tune everything off and just rewind. Because, working with this field is challenging.
Yeah.
Working with this population is very challenging, and you have to have an outlet for sure. So
I'm definitely with you. I haven't played golf in quite some time, but my golf game usually turns into toss the club.
Yes.
Yeah, well, speaking of the wife, I being able to explain why I need a new golf club about every other week, I just had to find other ways to vent my anger.
Yeah. Well, I think my wife probably preferred if I continued playing golf, because I just finished up. We took vacation for our anniversary a few weeks ago, and I just finished up a project doing our anniversary. I was rebuilding a 1981 Chevy square body pickup. And so we would go out to eat. I would rush her out to eat in the mornings. So we just eat breakfast every morning. I rush back home and work on my truck all day. But now it was doing with Hallmark Christmas season where those shows came on. So I kind of planned that strategically so that she can be occupied with them little shows while I'm out there working on my truck. So it kind of worked out pretty good. But
you're a smart man.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we definitely appreciate y'all coming on and spending some time with us today, providing some great information, imparting some wisdom on us, and so we definitely walk away with some extra knowledge in our brains and extra love in our hearts for the work you guys are doing. So thank you for joining us. Dan, you got anything before we close?
No, like I said, once again, I'm just happy for the partnership, and I'm very appreciative that you guys allow us to be a part of what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
All right. If y'all can stick around once we end, that'd be great. All right. All right. It's Friday afternoon. CareSouth Community Podcast.